and then come on back, but stand like this because you're putting a shadow on her. There's so much minutia. You know this. And then they rehearse it, and like the camera, the DP goes, "That's not working for me because you're killing her. She's way too hot. Her light is too hot, and Matthew's got a shadow. So we got to redo. Now we got remark. You got to. But with Clint, he literally says, "You boys step off the elevator and come on down the hallway and start talking around here, and I'll pick you up and follow you down, and we'll just have fun." That's it. And somehow
that is an unbelievable impression.
And we're in an elevator, and on my first day, he goes, "And so you guys get in the elevator. We'll start with the doors open. We don't have to get fancy, and whenever you're ready." And we're standing in a fucking elevator, and I'm looking at Matt Damon, and he's looking at me, and I realized it's literally whenever we feel like stepping out, movie making begins.
Yeah.
Like he's put that, like that's power.
So he didn't direct. Rob Lorenz did.
At all.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't direct. He was the star of our movie. Rob Lorenz directed. I'm sure you ran into Rob.
Yeah.
Lorenz directed the movie. So it's the same archetype. It's the same.
It'd be hard to direct Clint knowing how Clint directs.
Sure.
Clint would be like,
Let's go.
"I'm not going on your goddamn marks. You're going to put tape on the floor so a grown man knows where to stand while he's talking to another man.
You think we should...
Why don't you just put the camera where I wind up talking?" Right?
Yes. But it's the same. But it was the same way with Rob. He did a lot of similar stuff.
That was his
no rehearsal, ready, and
Rob was
whenever
Clint's,
you're ready.
Yeah. Rob was Clint's guy.
Yeah.
At
Still
Mariposa.
Yeah.
And this was his big directing thing. I tried like hell to get into that movie. So there you go.
There you go.
There's the.
I was that guy. I was your guy.
I tried so hard. Like, Rob, don't you remember? We had
funny.
such a nice time in San Francisco. Clang, clang, clang goes the trolley. I was just thinking about things that are in San Francisco.
It's too similar to Bob Sugar.
Huh?
It's too similar to Sugar. He's an asshole.
Yeah, but for Lorenz, I would have done it because he was super great. He's really was great.
Guy. And the movie's
Did I tell you? Have you heard this story? I don't think I ever told it on the podcast. And then I really want to hit your movie hard, and then we'll get out of here. What's the perfect gift? It's the Man Grate Grill Enhancement System. What's a Man Grate, you ask? Man Grates are 100% made in America cast iron grilling grates. These heavy-duty grilling grates deliver exactly what you need to achieve that steakhouse flavor you have been looking for. With Man Grates... Yeah, I got Man Grate, goddammit. With Man Grate's patented design, chicken, steak, or veggies, if you're a vegan, whatever, will have never tasted so good. No more flare-ups, no more dry meat. Guaranteed. Take advantage of our $20 More Stories special today by clicking on the Man Grate banner at jmohr.com. Basically, just go to jmohr.com and click on everything and buy stuff. As a bonus, every More Stories show order, mostly Man Grate, comes with a heavy-duty Man Grate grilling brush. And you can use that grilling brush for anything. You can clean out a kid's bottom row of teeth and put tubes in to projectile vomit on a drum kit. 100% made in America, 100% cast iron, 100% steakhouse quality grilling in your backyard. $20 More Stories show special. Click on the Man Grate banner at jmohr.com to order today. When I worked with Clint, the last scene of the movie, I go to the third floor to Matt Damon's. We're brothers, and we're like madly in love. Like that's the only way for this to work because my guy written was such a dick, Bob Sugary, and I didn't want to do it. Right. And my wife, the night before, I was up all night. And she goes, "What if you just are in love, like you're really in love? And when you ask him to do this business of reading minds and shit, what if you really think he can make money from it? Like, what if you really love him and you're coming, like really do?" But that was like the first time I really acted in my life because the copy that was written, I had to somehow convey differently. Because it was like, come on, you're leaving money on the table, baby. But I did it different. Anyway, so the last scene, I go to his house.
Good note.
And there's,
good note.
It was it made my character, and she made my hair super crazy high up. Like, he's got to be a little pathetic. You got to feel for the guy. And your clothes should be too big. That's what she said.
Okay.
And then have like one leather coat that you're like.
Better than too tight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, better than too tight.
So I go down the hallway to knock on Matt Damon's door to pick him up to go make money at like some big seminar, get him back up and running. And the neighbor's supposed to come out and hand me an envelope. That's all she's supposed to do. And I look at the envelope, and there's a Matt Damon voiceover basically saying, "I've left town. You're never going to see me again." And I'm supposed to cry, which, as you know, is the bane of any actor's existence, especially guys like you and I.
I have no problem crying.
Really?
That's not.
Oh, that's right. You are a good crier. I'm very bad at it.
It's hard.
It is hard. And
It's hard to do well.
Mamet in True and False put it best. There's only two thoughts. I'm not crying yet, or wow, I'm really crying. And both of those thoughts
do not serve you.
You're not acting.
Right.
You're not there. You're here.
That's the more. Yeah, the more you think about David Mamet's acting style, the more it makes sense.
So I go down the hallway, and this lady comes out, and she decides she's going to go for like her fucking Oscar. She comes out and goes, "Oh, hey, Billy," and automatically I'm off my game because like, how would his neighbor know my name, right?
Right.
She goes, "Oh, hey, Billy," and she doesn't have any lines. She goes, "Your brother's not home," which I guess kind of sucks for you. And I'm like, in my mind, going, "What the fuck is she doing?"
And there are no rehearsals, so you see it on the day.
No rehearsals. Just whenever you're ready, we'll have fun. Why don't you say action? Well, when was the last time in real life somebody looked at you and screamed action? It's a little off-putting. Like that. And he's right. So, and the camera's behind her. So her head is blocking my shot.
So you have to find
So I'm leaning, but she thinks we're doing like an acting exercise. She's fucking following me like an asshole back and forth, leaning like we're doing a mirror like exercise. And she goes, "Well, anyway, here's your note. Toodles." And she goes back in her apartment, and I look down at the letter, and then I drop the letter, and I pick it up off the ground, and like, there's no crying.
God.
And you hear, "God." And you hear an 80-year-old man walk up 2 flights of stairs. But let me say that again.
Oh, God.
You hear an 80-year-old man running up 2 flights of stairs. I defy anyone listening to this podcast to tell me the last time you've heard that sound. A fucking 80-year-old trucking up steps. It just don't happen. It's like, will you help climb up the stairs? He's 80. No. This motherfucker's running upstairs, and he goes, "Where is she? Get her out here now." And the girl comes out, and she's like a local San Francisco hire. And she thinks she's going to get like acting notes from the director.
Right, sure.
And she comes out beaming. And he goes, "Sweetheart, I cannot possibly explain how little this fucking movie is about you.
Oh, my
I would have hired your fucking arm if the union would have let me. Just give him the goddamn letter and get back in your fucking home." And I was like, holy shit.
Oh, my butthole is so tight right now.
Yes.
I feel so terrible for that girl.
I did too.
Poor woman.
And then on the way back, he leaned over to me and he goes, "Pussy, my man." Like that was his way of like, you got to fucking know how to talk to the chicks. He fucking totally destroyed her. And on the way back, gave me the aside, "Pussy." And then jogged down the fucking steps. That bitch just stuck her fucking hand out the door the next day. Like literally, you see from like where like a wristband would go on a shooting guard. Just from there out is all that makes it out the door. I still can't cry because I'm just thinking of him. So in the movie, I just look down at the letter and I look up like, wow, it's some heavy shit.
That's good though. That's probably good.
You know what? I've just made peace with the fact if I don't cry, then this guy didn't cry. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, there's no the crying thing. Did it say now he cries? Because that doesn't sound like a very.
It was implied, and with Clint, it's all really implied, which makes him great. How do we get this movie? How do people make this a success for you?
Well, that's a great question.
Fat Kid Rules the World.
TugTheFatKid.com.
No, but the name of the movie is Fat Kid Rules the World. How do we make this movie the underground grassroots success? Because you nailed it. You're making movies for the unrepresented.
Yeah.
The kids back in the day, like, listen to the SLC Punks.
Yeah.
The Ramones, Jane's Addiction, Bad Brains. This movie is for you guys.
Well, anyone that's look, it's for the 98% of the world that didn't feel like they fit in high school or now as adults. And you know, look, I think that we have a chance to, and the other thing is that we have a chance to do something outside the box. I mean, we have a chance to really try to, like Louis C.K., his $5 download thing, that changed distribution. If we can find a way to touch people enough to set up these screenings.
So how do they? That's what I'm asking you.
So if you go to TugTheFatKid.com and you hit...
Slow down, because this is important.
Good.
250,000 people right now. Explain to them how they're going to do this.
Okay. So go to TugTheFatKid.com. You can first of all, there's a listing of screenings that are going to be going off in your hometown.
Okay, so if you're in one of those towns, just going to the screening is going to help the movie a lot.
Yeah, and buy a ticket.
Exactly.
Yeah, and go to the screening. So that's the first thing. If you don't see a screening in your town and you want to see the movie, You fill out, you say request a screening. There's a button, simple as can be, request a screening. You push that button, you fill out the one-page paperwork. It's simple. Name, where do you want to see it, what city do you want to see it in.
If you could set up a Twitter account, you can do this.
Exactly.
Okay.
They'll send you back a time, a place, and the amount of people that you have to hit for the screening to go off. So it's like Groupon. So you know Groupon, you go to Groupon, like you see, like you need to hit
How many people are we
35
talking
people.
about?
Anywhere between
Around
30 to 60.
No
anywhere
problem.
there. 30 to 60.
You get 30 people in Pomona. When you're done with your Medieval Times gig, you get 29 other people, and they will put this movie up. Fat Kid Rules the World in the movie theater of your choice.
Right.
And then that's like being a dictator.
And by the way, and not only that, there's a couple things. First of all, you get 10% of the box office for that screening. So you get paid.
Hold on a second. This is kind of the biggest thing that you left on the table here. Say that again.
So you get 10% of the box office.
So if I get 1,000 people to go see this movie, basically I have a fucking door deal with this production crew you put together.
Exactly.
This is amazing. I didn't know this.
And you can do a screen. You can do as many screenings as you want.
So you should do a screening just to get the 10% of the door.
Yeah.
And, all your
and
chicks.
see a killer movie. I mean, it's a killer little movie.
Mostly you get 10% of the door. Yeah, sure, you see a movie and all.
And if you do a bunch of them, Mike McCready of Pearl Jam did our music. So, like, if you set up 5 screenings, you'll get a 7-inch that we press. If you set up 10 screenings, we'll send you a T-shirt. There's a whole incentive package.
So pretty much it all stems from the website.
TugTheFatKid.com. T-U-G-G. 2 G's.
T-U-G-G, thefatkid.com. Will you come back on the podcast and talk more?
Yeah, for sure.
Because this was fun. And you and I got a lot to talk. I mean, I want to talk to you more about Scooby-Doo. I want to talk to you more about
anything but that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, look, then I don't give a fuck about, there's plenty of shit. I want to talk to you about John Waters, which is way more interesting. I want to talk to you about Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer.
I have nothing to say about him.
That's impossible.
I have nothing to say about him.
I want to talk to you about Lansing. I want to talk to you about Pittsburgh. I want to talk to you about Detroit Rock City.
Yes.
Right? These are all Matthew Lillard stuff. You were actually voted class clown in high school.
I was.
They took a vote.
Most talented.
That's not what it says in my research.
That's a lie.
Well, you better talk to Matthew
I'm
Cox.
talk to Wiki.
Show contributor, Matthew Cox. That's our show contributor. That's all this is here. This person did all this work to get all Matthew Lillard stuff.
Half-assed.
No way, man.
Mustache Studios.
Thank you for coming, my friend.
Dude, thank you for having me. I
want to thank Corey Fry, president of Fake Mustache Studios, Eric E. Double on the Wheels of Steel, Nicole Avery, my beautiful bride. Listen to the Crab Feast if you can. Oh, here's a thing everybody could do. Go to tugthefatkid.com. That's 2 G's. And get a screening of this movie in your town. This is one of the coolest things I've ever heard of. There's
also a Facebook page. You can follow updates, and we'll list screenings there. And so if you forget the Tug the Fat Kid, you can always go to Fat Kid Rules the World.
And is it going to be released like just in theaters, like a regular movie anyway, like 15 theaters?
If we have a chance to catch on, and if it catches on, then somebody will find us. And I think that we will. I mean, my belief is that we're going to hit these kids. We're on Vans Warped Tour all summer. And if we hit
you won the prize.
Yeah, the audience award for South by Southwest. The movie's killer.
You're telling me
the one thing I will
up,
say is the movie's fucking great.
Straight up, Matthew Lillard, me and you, Maddie and JJ talking eyeball to eyeball. You're fucking telling me. You're giving me your word. You put your name on it. You're telling me this movie is fucking great.
If you like SLC Punk, yes, my word is Bond. I look you straight in the eye.
Okay.
I'll cut my finger off. I'll gouge my eyeballs.
Straight up. I'm down. And the listeners
if you like
are
the
down
SLC Punk,
yeah,
this is the same fun kind of movie.
Okay.
If you like that movie, we are that movie.
All right.
Again,
you know what? And these listeners will respond. Hit them up. Hit them up, guys. Until then, put your name on it.